Want to look at some vegetables? By the way, hands-free. I did not buy a tripod, in case you're wondering. I stacked some shit on top of some other shit, and I delicately balanced my phone on it. Innovation. But that does mean that I have to be really, really careful because I'm sitting at a table, and if I shake this table, it all comes crumbling down, and then I have to learn how to edit video real fast. Or start from the beginning, but I'm a lazy person. It's not gonna happen. So I got a delivery today from Local Milk Run, which is, I've talked about that company before. I really, really like them. I really like buying from local farms and getting all kinds of local goodies, especially right now when your local economy needs your money more than ever. They always do, but right now especially, with everything going on with COVID-19, the companies that are going to be the most likely to weather this storm are the big guys, and the little guys really need your help unless you want every town to look exactly the same, with a Starbucks next to a Kinko's, next to a Best Buy, next to a whatever. And those are some outdated references. I don't even know if Kinko's still exists. Not as much as it used to, but I'm old. What do you want from me? Anyway, I got a great big red cabbage. Isn't it nice to feel like I can use both hands to do this? Which is especially, like, I had to do this because there's something coming up where I'm going to want both hands for. But this is a beautiful, like, heavy, dense red cabbage, and I'm going to put some of this in a salad, and I'm going to use some of this for tacos like I did last week, and it like gives this really beautiful color, but also maybe I could ferment some. I could throw it in with some sauerkraut or something else that I'm fermenting. Just possibilities are endless, and the nice thing is, like, you can just like chop some off and use it, put it in the fridge, and then you can use it again later, and you can just keep taking pieces off of it, and if it starts to look kind of manky, just take the outside off. The inside's gonna be fine. Unless it isn't, and then you throw it away. Like, you know, let your eyes be the judge of that, but you know what I mean. So, keeping with the purple theme, I got some purple lettuce. This has been sitting out a little while, so it's not as like big and bright. It's wilted a little bit because I got my delivery right before I left the apartment. I left the apartment today. That's crazy. This is the first time I left the apartment like in a long time. I didn't break quarantine or anything like that. I just dropped some stuff off on people's porches. I picked something up from somebody's porch, and I, you know, GTFO. No breathing, no touching, no getting in people's faces. But fun fact, if you have some lettuce and it starts to wilt, or any greens at all and it starts to wilt, you can put it in some cold water for a few hours, brightens right back up, dry it off, put it in the fridge. Good. Okay? Don't waste your lettuce just because it gets a little unhappy. You just got to give it some love. Okay, so I am really excited about this. I kind of didn't need another vegetable delivery. I actually don't know how I'm going to fit this in the fridge because I have a small apartment fridge and I have a lot of vegetables in that fridge. But when I see frisee, I will buy frisee. And they had it last week, so I bought it and I ate it all, and now there's more. And I will eat frisee all throughout the growing season because I love it and I never want to be without it. It is sometimes called curly endive or endive if you're fancy, but I like frisee. It's hard to tell just like this, but when you really get down into it, like, it's just cool looking. It's just really cool looking, and it's like paler as you get into it, and you can see how it's all kind of curly, or frisee, if you will. It just tastes really, really good in salads. It's a little bit bitter. I tend to like things a little bit bitter. It's not horrifically bitter. It's like you're not gonna be sad you're eating it. I just really love it. I don't understand why I have such an affinity for it. Other than that, I mean, it is enjoyable, but it makes me so happy. I don't know. To eat it on its own, it's not exciting, but you put it in a salad, best thing ever. Like, I love it. I love it. If you see it in the store and you've not tried it before, please try it. I do see a lot of recipes online where people make a frisee salad with like bacon and things like that, so I guess it stands up well to things that are kind of fatty and salty. I just throw it into a big salad with everything, you know. I make my farmer's market salad, which is just, I go to the farmer's market, or I used to when I could leave the apartment, buy a bunch of everything and just you know, dump it in the bowl. And so no one thing really stands out, but I do love my frisee. I got another one of these guys. I love when my stuff still has stuff attached. This one here is a little merp, so I can probably get some use out of some of it, but it's a little dry and not so great towards the top. But you could throw that into a stock or something like that. You don't have to waste it, even if it's not, you know, beautiful and something you want to eat, you know, raw or immediately. I got, look at these teeny tiny little turnips. I have seen these called salad turnips because I guess they're small and tender enough that you could slice them up and put them in your salad. I have not tried that. I will have to try that. The bigger turnips I really like mashed, like potatoes, but you could also roast them. These are really nice for roasting. Also, these are a twofer. I really, really, really love twofer vegetables, which is anything where you've got more than one thing that you can eat. So you can eat these and these together. You can eat them separately. The leaves, you can put these in a salad if you want. Not everybody's gonna like that strong flavor, but you can also cook them. I made some collard greens just a few days ago, and some of my collards had gone not so good, so I needed something to fill it out with because I had already cooked the other ingredients, and I was like, if I put like 2 leaves of collards in there, that's gonna be ridiculous. So I had some turnip greens and I threw them in there. And I had, I think, some radish greens as well. Threw those in. Delicious. I highly recommend. You're not going to be unaware that you're eating this. It's a very, like, mustardy flavor. It's really cool though. I could see sauteing these with like some kind of German sausage or something. It's just got a flavor that seems like it would go really well with that. It's that mustardiness. Really lovely though. Very much enjoy. Very much recommend. Also got more mushrooms. So I live in a place where there's a ton of mushrooms that grow here, and there's just no excuse to not try all of them. And there's a few that I love, and I already know that I love them, and if I can get my hands on them, I will. Hedgehog mushrooms, if you can get your hands on hedgehog mushrooms. Everybody says chanterelle, and chanterelles are good. Hedgehogs, for me, all the time. I haven't been able to find those, but I'm going to try. These are called trumpet mushrooms. And that one had a little broken top. I'm trying to pull out a pretty one from this bag. But they're fighting me. But like, see, they're like little squat guys. They look like what you think a mushroom should look like. They don't smell like anything. Not a single thing. That's interesting. I've never used these before. I really look forward to it. I did a little bit of looking into it. Apparently it doesn't taste like a lot when it's raw, but when you cook it, it has a really beautiful umami flavor, which is what you really expect from mushrooms. So I assume it's gonna just have a very standard mushroom flavor, but I'm very interested to find out. One of the things that everything said was you can eat the stalk, which is like, God, I hope so. I mean, it's all stalk. So, but also that was a little bit of a moment for me because sometimes when I look up mushrooms, they're like, oh yeah, you can eat the stalk. And I'm like, is there a mushroom where you can't? Because there's no mushrooms where I don't. Well, I'm not dead, so apparently you can. Okay, so this is the last thing in this particular bag, and I am so excited. I saw that they had this on the list, and I was just like, buying it. It's a little expensive, unfortunately, but I got really excited. This is 2 pounds of shelling peas. So on one of my other videos, I got some sugar snap peas, and those ones, you eat the whole thing, and it's a little snack. These guys are like your standard garden pea, which means that you got to take them out of these shells. But what's cool is you can just kind of press them, and they just go pop, pop. And I had one that made a really satisfying pop noise, and then you just kind of pry them open, I couldn't have done this with one hand. I'm not that fancy. And then inside, you just got all these little peas, like peas in a pod. Ah. And as you pull them open, you see that they're alternating. Usually you see them all in a straight line, and they are, but if you pull them open, you can see that some are stuck to one side and some are stuck to the other. I lost one. Well, I didn't lose it. It's right here. And one thing that you can do with these is this. I don't know if that looks difficult or too technical. Maybe I need to do that in slow motion. Let me show you again. Excuse me. And then this guy you don't eat. You can do other things with this guy. You could probably put this in a stock as well. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't. It's just, it's not poisonous. It's just not yummy. It's going to be really fibrous. But you could probably dump it into a stock. I mean, I would throw almost anything into a stock that didn't have a really strong, like, sulfurous taste. And that's definitely not peas. You can put these in a salad. You can cook these like you would just cook regular peas. You can just have them as a snack, as I am right now. It kind of reminds me of pistachios, where part of the fun of it is just opening the shell and popping it in your mouth. Ah, look how adorable this is. It's so cute. It looks like something somebody made a picture of, like it's not even a real thing. This is one of those things where I grew up seeing pictures of it, and I'm like, that's not a reality that I'm actually aware of, because you buy a bag of peas. And then when I saw it for the first time, I was just like, it's like the first time I saw a robin. I was a grown-ass adult before I ever saw a robin. And I looked over one day, and it was pulling a worm out of the ground, like in pictures. And I was like, I don't know why it was so shocking to me, but I don't know. So it's, I don't know, nature imitating art, which originally was imitating nature to begin with. I don't know. But if that's not the cutest fucking thing you've ever seen, you can straight up get out of my face right now, because look at that. That is fucking cute. I'm gonna hear it. And they're yummy. They're very sweet. And they taste like peas, like you want a pea to taste. I don't know what I'm gonna do with 2 pounds of these, apart from just eat them like this. I've seen people grill them, I think. I don't know. I have some asparagus and I have some mint. I have a great big bunch of mint that a friend gave me. So I know that peas and mint are very often put together in England. I've never had it, but why not try now? And I know that I've had pea and asparagus soup. It was really nice, and I may have had some mint in it as well, so maybe. It's just so nice. That just seems like a very spring sort of thing. Very spring kind of combo. You know, asparagus and peas and mint. All these beautiful things that are so vibrant in the spring. Okay, I have bored you long enough. Thank you for watching my vegetables. I hope to keep making videos. People have been pretty positive about them. All of the people who don't like them haven't said anything, so, you know, fair enough. Thank you for that. But I do want to keep making videos in the future and get away from just sort of, hey, look, I got some vegetables, and start doing some more information about individual things, like, you know, hey, let me tell you about this one thing, and we'll go into some, you know, greater detail about it. Because the nicest thing that I've heard from people is that I've encouraged them to try eating more vegetables, and that I've encouraged them to try eating vegetables that they wouldn't normally eat. And that's what I want. That's exactly what I'm hoping for. And so that is wonderful. So if I can help with that, I'm happy to do that. So look for that in the future. All right, we're almost at the 15-minute mark. I should shut up. I'm just, you know, stuck in quarantine with nobody to talk to, except for my husband, who's playing video games. So anyway, thank you for listening.